Hi friends, Christy here. Thanks for stopping by Books and Jams. It is time today to do a book haul. Yay! I always love when it's book haul time because I save out the books that I've been gathering and collecting and buying and receiving until I have a good chunk of them ready to go. And because I just went on my BookTube Besties trip to Chattanooga and we did some book shopping, I have a whole bag here, plus what was on the bottom of the cart, including October Book of the Month books and some books that were sent to me and some other things that I've collected. So we are just going to jump right in and talk about the new books entering my home in the last few weeks. I'm purposefully wearing this shirt, which is our 2025 BookTube Besties shirt created by Amanda. I'm going to go ahead and take the camera so that you can get a close-up of it here. It has all of our channels on it and then our date of our first video on our channels, and it all looks like a library card. They're so cute. Amanda did such a great job. So I absolutely love this shirt. Amanda did such a great job, and she also created for us a bookmark that she gave us while we were all together, and on the back it has everybody's content, places to find them on YouTube and Instagram. So cute. And she gave each of us a huge stack of these that we can be giving out here and there. So if you order from my Pango shop, you might be getting one of these. Jen at the Bookish Blonde also treated us with a few things. I don't have everything in here because I've been wearing the socks and they're currently in my laundry, but she gave us these cute little ghosty earrings, a wine bottle charm. Mine says Once Upon a Wine, I think, or Once Upon a Wine. And then these beautiful lights. I don't have mine plugged in. I wonder if I can. I don't have anywhere to plug this in here at the moment, but this does light up. It has different light types. It could be soft white or bright white, but mine says, here, let me put this solid color behind it so you can see it. Look at that, Krista's library with a stack of books and flowers. It's so pretty. So it's going to sit on my shelves until I figure out how I can shine it. So how I can plug it in so that it can shine, but it's really, really cute. Thank you to Jen and Amanda for your kindness. Also, we had a meetup on this Saturday that we were there, and one of the things that Marcia, one of the ladies who came, gave us was these coasters from a local person in Chattanooga, and they all have different parts of the map of Chattanooga. Mine says Lookout Mountain, which is where we went to go to Rock City Gardens. Some of the others had downtown Chattanooga or different parts, but mine says Lookout Mountain, which is just so fun, and a little bag of treats from Marcia. I just thought that was really cool. So that's going to live here in my library somewhere, but it's always fun to get some extra treats. The one other thing that I have that is not books is this game, Piles. This is a game that we played while we were together. Amanda found it on TikTok and loved it, bought it. Her family has been enjoying it, so she brought it for us to play, and we loved it. I had so much fun playing this game. And then while we were at McKays shopping around, Lindsay found it in the game section, told me about it, and I ran right over and snatched it. I got it brand new, still in the packaging, like it's still wrapped up for $10. Guys, that's such a good deal. Such a good deal. So very exciting. But let's go back now to my stack of books. Everything else will be bookish. We're going to start with my October book of the month. I need to say at the top here, I'm canceling my book of the month. I have not been impressed with their choices in the last few months. I have skipped more than I have ordered. And often I want the add-ons and not the actual books that are chosen for each month. So I think it's time to give book of the month a break. The last time I gave them a break, I think I joined in 2016 or 2017, and then I stopped for a few years, and then I joined back up again. I think it's time to stop again for a little while. I'm trying to save a little bit of money, and when I have constantly skipping, it just is the right thing to do. But here is what I chose for October. And the reason that I even got any is because I wanted the add-ons, not the actual book of the month. But I did go ahead and choose Never Over by Claire Gilmore. I don't know if this is going to be steamy or not, but it's going to be a romance. Ooh, we'll see. I don't really feel the urge to read that, but I wanted these two. I really wanted Alchemy of Secrets by Stephanie Garber. This is on my anticipated reads list from this last quarter. I am very curious. I enjoyed the Caravel series. I think that I liked the second two less and less, but I really did enjoy the first one. But this is an adult novel by her. So it's going to have like dark academia a little bit. There's a class called Local Legends and Urban Myths taught by a woman called the Professor, Most students believe the professor's stories are just fiction, but Holland St. James has always been convinced that magic is real. When she tracks down a local legend named the Watchman, who could supposedly tell you when you will die, the world finally makes sense, except that the Watchman tells her she will die at midnight tomorrow unless she finds an ancient object called the alchemical heart. I'm very excited about that one, and I'm sad that it was not one of the main choices. And then I also picked up a T. Kingfisher book. I'm trying to read more of her retelling stories. I'm not sure if Hemlock and Silver is going to be more on the horror side or more on the retelling side. I honestly don't know, but I wanted it. So I got it. I had some credits. Healer Anya regularly drinks poison, not to die, but to save, seeking cures for those anyone else has given up on. But a summons from the king interrupts her quiet, herb-obsessed life. His daughter Snow is dying, so it is a retelling. And he hopes Anya's unorthodox methods can save her. We'll see about this one, but I'm looking forward to reading more T. Kingfisher. I have a couple on my shelves still, and I wanted to add this one to my shelves as well. Okay, I will continue with the books that were sent to me. Some of these I have talked about in different vlogs, weekend vlogs. So Nikki from Writing for Jesus recently sent me these two books, which I've already talked about. Every Hour Until Then by Gabriel Meyer is book 5 in the Timeless series. I'm currently on book 4, but I have book 5 here, and you'll see book 6 in just a second. But thank you, Nikki, for sending me this. And she also sent me the newest book in the track series, which is Coach. The track series follows these 4 kids that are on a track team together. The coach is one of my favorite characters throughout the series. I really love how he works with these kids and helps them out in different ways and teaches them different things. And I'm really excited to get his backstory in this one. So Nikki, thank you so much for sending those to me. I won a Goodreads giveaway. What? I enter a lot of Goodreads giveaways and very, 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 very rarely win. But I got book 6 in the Shady Hollow series, Mockingbird Court by Juno Black. I have talked about this in a vlog as well, but I don't even know what this one is about. It takes place in the fall though, so maybe by next fall, I'll be ready to read this one. I think I'm on book 4 in that series as well, or 5 now maybe. Maybe I'm pretty close to catching up. Then Bethany House sent me 2 books, book 6 in the Timeless series, Through Each Tomorrow by Gabriel Meyer. I'm really excited to continue this series and write a review for Bethany House about this book, but I need to get going on the other ones first. And also a book about Queen Esther's Court by Tessa Afshar, the royal artisan. I'm pretty sure there's another one that's Queen Esther's Court. The Queen's Cook by this author is also set in Queen Esther's Court. So this might be a sequel to The Queen's Cook. I should probably read that one first. But thank you to Bethany House for sending me those 2 books. A couple weekend vlogs ago, I participated in an audiobook walk through one of my local used bookstores, and there weren't very many people that participated. And kind of as a thank you for me going, she offered to just give me these 2 that I was looking to buy anyways. So The Keeper of Stories by Sally Page. Everyone has a story to tell, but does Janice have the courage to unlock her own? Just looks really good. Heartwarming, intricate, empathetic. Some buzzwords for me there. A charming, uplifting debut novel full of humor and depth that has taken readers around the world by surprise. Sounds fun. And also The Street by Anne Petrie, which when I showed this in my weekend vlog, many of you said this is also on your shelves or that you've read it and really enjoyed it. But this is the first novel by an African-American woman to sell more than 1 million copies. So I'm really excited about this. It takes place in Harlem and we follow a single mom. So family drama about a Black woman working and living in Harlem. So it should be pretty good. I also, at some thrift stores a couple weekends ago, picked up these 2 books. Paper Cuts is the next book in the Secret Book and Scone Society, which I didn't own yet, by Ellery Adams. It's another series I need to catch up on. And Fortunately The Milk by Neil Gaiman is a funny middle grade with loads of illustrations in there. So that should be a fun, quick little tiny read. A couple weekends ago, I went out to lunch with my friend Christine, and we went to a town that has a bookstore that participates in my bookstore crawl, but it's 30 minutes away and I never make it down there. It's called Resist Booksellers. Since I never make it down there and was there, I had to get a couple. And they focus, it's a Black-owned bookstore, and they focused mainly on having books by people of color. And so I did pick up 2, a historical fiction called The Thread Collectors. This is by Shauna Edwards and Allison Richmond, set in 1863 in a small Creole cottage in New Orleans. And then also in New York City, a Jewish woman stitching a quilt for her husband, who is in the Union Army. We follow these two women who risk everything for love and freedom during the brutal Civil War. Their paths converge in New Orleans, where an unexpected encounter leads them to discover that even the most delicate threads have the capacity to save us. And it's loosely inspired by the two authors' own family histories, which I think is really, really cool. So that sounds so good. And then I also picked up the young readers edition of How the Word is Passed by Clint Smith, and it's adapted by Sonia Cherry Paul. I've heard good things about The Word is Passed. I feel like I'm fine reading the young readers edition. It's remembering slavery and how it shaped America, and this one is signed by the author there. So I'm glad that I picked up that nonfiction. I am going to be trying to read a lot more nonfiction in November. From a little free library that's near my work, I grabbed Tom Hanks's book, The Making of Another Major Motion Picture Masterpiece. I don't know how I feel about this because I did try to read Tom Hanks's short story collection and DNF'd that pretty quickly. This one is not a collection of short stories. It is the opposite. It spans 80 years of a changing America. I just saw that there's like a comic in here, a couple pages of a comic. I'm not really sure. Oh, another comic there. I'm not really sure what this is going to be about, but I thought I'd give another Tom Hanks a try. I love Tom Hanks acting. I don't know if I love him as a writer. Have any of you read this one? What do you think? Will I like it? Should I just not even bother? Where did I get? I think this is also from a little free library. Much Ado About Nada by Uzma Jalaluddin. I did read Aisha at Last, which is another Pride and Prejudice retelling, I think. And this one is a Persuasion retelling. Yeah, sparkling second chance romance inspired by Jane Austen's Persuasion. That's all I needed to know because Persuasion is my favorite Jane Austen book. So I'm totally into reading a retelling of it. And then I had one little Pango purchase this month. I reined it in and I have Warbreaker by Brandon Sanderson. This is the mass market paperback of it. I have been told both things, but I'm going to try to read this one before diving into Oathbringer. I think that's how they are in publication order maybe, or I looked up an order and Emily, my guru friend from Emily Reads, she is my Robin Hobb and Brandon Sanderson sensei. And she said that I need to read this before Oathbringer. I did hear from someone else that I don't really need to, that this is a standalone, but I'm gonna trust my friend Emily and go with this one first. So because Oathbringer was on my TBR for October, I didn't get to it. I kind of knew I wasn't, but I've decided I'm gonna read this one first. So now I have it for when I'm ready. And now we'll dive into the bag. Okay, the first little stack I have are from the bookstores that we went to. I went to Second and Charles twice because Lindsay got there first. I drove in and Lindsay got there first. So we went to Second and Charles to just kind of not waste a little time, but to spend time together before we had to go back to the airport to pick up the other two girls. And while in there, I picked up Lenny Marks' Gets Away with Murder by Karen Maine. I have never heard of this before, and I think it's been a really long time since I've picked up a book that I've never heard of before. It was $10, but I did have store credit, so basically it was free. But there was a couple things in here that drew me in. So we follow Lenny Marks. She's excellent at not having a life. She bikes home at work at exactly 4 p.m. every day, buys the same groceries to make the same meals every week, owns 36 copies of The Hobbit, currently arranged by height. The closest thing she has to a friendship is playing Scrabble against an imaginary Monica Geller while watching Friends reruns. So immediately I'm kind of drawn in. What is this lady's life? Why is everything the same from day to day? Is it like an OCD thing? Is she neurodivergent? I don't really know. So I didn't even read the rest of it. I was drawn in right away by that. And the bottom paragraph that usually summarizes things, equal parts heartbreaking and heartwarming, Karen Maine's stunning debut is an irresistible novel about truth, secrets, vengeance, and family lost and found, with a heroine who's simply unforgettable. I mean, that sounds so good, doesn't it? So I'm really excited about this. I think it's gonna have some drama. We're gonna learn about her family and some of the loss that she's experienced. There's gonna be murder of some sort in here. And I don't know, let me know if you've read this one. I'm curious about that. And then as part of our meetup on Saturday, we went to a little shop called The Book and Cover, which was inspired by Shop Around the Corner from You've Got Mail. They love You've Got Mail, and they had a Catherine Kelly dress up contest at one point this past month, and There was lots of little rooms to look in. It was really cute in there. Unfortunately, we didn't really feel that the booksellers tried to engage with us very much, and that's fine. But I did find 2 books in there. I was specifically looking for Tuck Everlasting, the graphic novel. This is by Natalie Babbitt and adapted and illustrated by Kay Woodman Maynard. I had to read Tuck Everlasting as part of a children's lit class way back when I was in college, and it's been one that I've read multiple times since then. But I just think the cover of this is stunning. I did have this on NetGalley, but it got returned or taken away before I could read it. Look at the art. I mean, it's just beautiful. It's just beautiful. So I'm really excited to read this story again with the graphic novel. So very thrilled that Amanda found that for me. And then I also picked up a backlist Simone St. James, The Other Side of Midnight. This is an author I would like to read to zero. She writes ghost stories, but in a way that is not too dark for me. So I just saw this and thought I would grab it. It was $15. Exactly. The Other Side of Midnight. Didn't even look at what it's about. I just know I want to read it. As part of that meetup, we also did a bit of a book swap, and I got 4 books from the book swap. What? Which is kind of cool. I picked up 3, and then at the end, everyone was looking. There was just a few that people didn't really want anymore, and I grabbed 1 more. So the first one that I picked up was this Christian fiction, Finding Lady Enderley by Joanna Davidson Politano. I think I've read 2 books by her and have really enjoyed them. So I'm looking forward to this one, Finding Lady Enderley, and I think it's a newer release. Is this 2025? Nope, it's 2019. It's not a newer release, but I'm still looking forward to this very much. Whimsy, intrigue, danger, and tenderness. Whoa. So there's going to be a little bit of a mystery in here. Raina is a rag woman in the London's East End when a handsome stranger appears in a dark alley, offering her a glittering smile and a chance for adventure. We shall see about that one. Looks good. Then next I picked up Annabelle Monahan's Summer Romance. Amanda said there's one steamy scene that I could probably skip through, and other than that, it's not that bad. Summer Romance. Actually, no, I think it just has kissing. I think she looked it up for me. But this will be a perfect, like, kind of summery beach read. That's all I needed to know. And Amanda recommended it. We know how I feel about Amanda's recommendations now. Read them. And then I picked up one more rom-com, Shipped by Angie Hockman. Just looked cute. So I grabbed it. And then the one that I wasn't sure about and I'd never heard of before is The East Indian by Brenda Cherry. Have any of you read this one before? First of all, it's gorgeous cover. This is historical fiction. We meet Tony, compassionate, insatiably curious, with a unique perspective on every scene he encounters. He was kidnapped and transported to the New World after traveling from the coast of India to the teeming streets of London. Tony finds himself indentured on a Virginia tobacco plantation. Orphaned and afraid, he longs for home and envisions a life after servitude full of adventure and learning. His dream, to become a physician's assistant, an expert on roots and herbs, a dispenser of healing compounds. Like the play that captivates him, Shakespeare's A Midsummer Night's Dream, which Tony saw at the Globe during a short time in London. His life is rich with oddities and hijinks, humor and tragedy. Set largely during the early days of English colonization in Virginia, The East Indian gives authentic voice to an otherwise unknown historical figure and brings his world to vivid life. That sounds so good. I've never heard of this, so let me know if you've heard of that one too. I like that I have some unfamiliar books in here. I have one last, whoa, I almost whacked myself in the face. I have one last stack here. I got these all from McKays, and I did have store credit because I brought a bag of books to trade in. So this cost me $1.50. These and the game piles all cost me $1.50 when all was said and done. I picked up the annotated version of Persuasion. I think I'm going to add this to my list of things I want to read in 2026. I love Persuasion. It's my favorite Austen novel. And this is a lot of fun because the text of the book is on the left-hand side of the page, and on the right-hand side of the page is footnotes. There are photographs. There's annotations, everything that will just enrich my understanding of the time and of Jane Austen's time period and of the book itself. I just think that that's really, really cool. It was $6.50 at McKays, but free for me. I also picked up A Scandal in Mayfair, which is the 3rd book in the Lily Adler mystery series. I still need to get A Body in the Garden, which is the first one. I have The Silence in the Library, I think is the second one. This is the 3rd one, A Scandal in Mayfair by Catherine Shellman. So a series that I really would like to read, I've heard such good things about, but still need to get the first one. I picked up a Mitch Albom book that I don't own yet, The Magic Strings of Frankie Presto. This is going to be an author that I'm going to prioritize in 2026. I really would like to read maybe one a month or something along those lines. I have so many Mitch Albom books and I just know I'm going to love him. I just know it. I've only read The Little Liar so far. I need to read more. Another series book that I picked up is book 3 in this mystery series, the Marlowe Murder Club series. I have the first 2. And so I grabbed The Queen of Poisons as well by Robert Thurgood. This is book 3. Like I said, on the bargain bookshelf, I found The Last Thing He Told Me by Laura Dave. I see this one everywhere, so I'm not sure it's going to be one for me. But we have a little bit of a thriller mystery going on here, suspenseful book. Before Owen Michaels disappears, he manages to smuggle a note to his beloved wife of a year, protect her. Despite her confusion and fear, Hannah Hall knows exactly to whom the note refers. Owen's 16-year-old daughter, Bailey, who lost her mother tragically as a child. And we go from there. So I'm curious about this one. I need to do a little bit more research on it to see if it's going to be for me or not, but it was only $2, so I threw it in my pile. And then finally, I did put in the Book of Doors by Gareth Brown. I've had this on my want to read list on Goodreads because of Danny Dabbles. Oh, Susan gifted this one to somebody who is on Book Talk. So Susan, you're very kind. The person you gifted it to brought it into McKays, but maybe she read it and didn't want to keep it. This one's a debut novel full of magic, adventure, and romance. Opens up a thrilling world of contemporary fantasy for readers of The Midnight Library, which I loved, The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, which I read and liked okay, The Night Circus, which I loved, an Eddie modern story that mixes the wonder of the unknown with just a tinge of darkness. So I'm curious enough about this one that I wanted to grab it as well. And that is all of my books and tchotchkes and fun things that I got over the last few weeks. I would love to hear, especially about those ones that I've never heard of before. Have you read them? Have you heard of them? Do you think I will like them or not? Let me know. Let's chat down in the comments below. I love chatting with you down there. And if you've made it all the way to the end, but you're not feeling like you have anything to add, that's totally fine. I would love to know that you were here. Put a little stack of books emoji because clearly I have a big stack of books to figure out where they're going to go now. And thank you so much again for watching. And I appreciate you all so much. And I look forward to chatting with you in another video very soon. Bye.